Hello, my name is Terri, and this is Nicki, and we're going to be bringing the Stay Active and Independent for Life, or SAIL program for short, to you today. So we're so happy that you're here to join us. We're going to be working your heart, we're going to be working your lungs, we're going to be working your muscles, and we're going to be working your balance, a very important part of this class. So we're going to show you, I'm going to be showing you a standing version. Nicki will be showing you a seated version so that you can choose which one works best for you. You'll want to have a couple of things there for you to work with. You'll want to make sure that you have your water bottle, and I prefer one that has a lid on it so that it's not going to spill with you. You're going to want to have a really safe area to exercise in where nothing's going to catch your feet. You want to have a nice sturdy chair that's not going to slide. You're going to also want to have some weights to work with, because that's how we get stronger, is by using those weights. Now, if this is the very first time that you've done SAIL and you're wondering what we do in this class, maybe this first class you choose to not use a weight just to see what we're doing, and then the next time you will add that on, because we really encourage you to use weights unless you've had some restriction by a physical therapist or a doctor that might restrict you in that. So, in part of being in a safe environment in here to work in, you'll want to make sure all of your equipment is underneath your chair. So I'm going to come to a seated position, and I'm going to put my equipment that I'll be using. I'm going to bring my water bottle back up to my chair in just a moment. I'm going to safely put my weights down, everything I'll do, and I'm going to make sure that there's nothing there that will catch my foot. So we'll have it right there, totally in there. So you want to make sure that, again, if you're staying seated, it's not as important that you might have that out just a little bit, but I like to have everybody's equipment totally underneath the chair, because you will be moving around the chair. And I'm going to actually bring my water back up, and I'm going to sit it in my chair for as I'm going to be working standing. So as I go through, I can very easily grab my water bottle and get a drink of water, and not have to go all the way down to the floor, lowering my head down below to the floor, and perhaps make me dizzy or anything like that. So we're going to go on ahead and go. One other alternative I want to give to you, and I'm going to just step over here just a second. If you are a little bit weaker, or maybe you're just you feel a little unsteady, one thing you might do is to bring a chair in front of you as well as have a chair behind you. So now you want to have some distance so you can move, but your fingertips may be on here, or maybe it's just a day you're just feeling just a little weaker, and then it would make it very easy for you to come and to sit down. But that might be another alternative. Perhaps you're recovering from something, and so that would be another alternative. For me, I'm going to scoot this out of our way. You're going to see here I have a SAIL guide that I'll be going over some information later at the end of our exercise section. So we'll be going over that. So I'm just going to put this over to the side. So I'm going to get our music going, and we're just going to have a great class. So once you take a big deep breath in, like a good morning stretch, and just bring those arms down, and then another good deep breath in. We're going to wake everything up. We're going to warm up all of our muscles, those big muscles. Go ahead and take a big shoulder roll here just to work it back. All right, good. And we're going to start in a nice little easy march. And one thing I want you to work on, whether you're seated or standing, is that you're working on your posture. So make sure that eye gaze is going forward. Sometimes we work and we're always looking down. So let's try to bring that eye gaze up. There should be nothing to catch your feet. There, a little swing of those arms as we bring that heart rate up. Good deep breaths. Oh, it feels good to be moving this morning, doesn't it? Or evening perhaps. You may have a different time of day that it works best for you. Now I want you to give me a little reach forward, and I want you to pull back. A little reach and pull. So working those chest and back muscles. Tummy in nice and tight. We're going to work those muscles more as time goes on. All right, come back down. And once you take those feet out just a little bit wider, feel those hips warm up. Bring those feet right back underneath your hips. Now, Nicki is showing you a version there in that march. But Nicki, could you add in, if you're staying seated, you're going to want to do that little heel dig forward and not stay in that prolonged march. So again, take those arms. Just take a little reach, like we're lifting something up. Again, as we're moving, tummy in nice and tight. And then I want you to bring those arms down. Take those feet out a little bit wider. All right, we're going to take it a little rock from side to side. It's a little clasp of those arms. So pull your tummy in nice and tight. We want that core to be nice and supported, just like you're rocking a baby. And then let's extend those arms out a little side to side. So we're going to be working forward and backward, and we're going to be working sideways. And we'll have a little bit of motion there as we rotate as well. All right, now you're going to bring it back up to your march. Tummy in nice and tight. You go at a pace that feels good to you. You do not have to be right with the beat of the music. Let's take a little step back and a little reach forward. Just a little tap back, nice and easy. Another alternative is that you may have your fingertips on the chair. You may have one hand on the chair. So whatever works for your body. The most important thing is that you're here with us and you are moving. All right. Again, so those muscles should be warmed up, chest back, those legs. So take those legs out just a little bit wider again. You might pick them a little higher, and then you're going to bring them back up. We're going to increase up our pace a little bit to get the heart rate up a little higher so we can work and exercise our heart. It's a muscle just like our muscles in our arms or in our legs. We want it to be really good and healthy. So standing, practicing in your posture, those tummy muscles are drawn in just a bit, and we're going to keep going. So I want you to go on ahead. You're going to bring it forward, a little step back and a little tap. So we're just going to take it forward and back. Now again, you may have your fingertips on your chair. All right, so I'm leading with my right leg here. So you can work back. You can work with that heel dig if you're seated. All right, this music always makes me think about being in the 60s. Anybody remember the 60s? All right, now I've been leading with my right leg. All right, I won't forget about that left leg. So could you give me a little, like you're throwing that basketball? So a little bend in those knees, a little higher with your arms. If you have shoulder issues, you may bring it forward. Tummy in nice and tight. Keeping that eye gaze up. All right, now remember I said I wasn't going to forget about your left leg. So let's see if we can lead with that left leg up. So just a nice little easy tap. All right, so fingertips can be on the chair again. So the big thing is that you are moving. So you may come up with some other move that you like better, and that is okay. It's all good. So I've got a big arm swing. All right. And then you're going to bring it back. Now bring it back to that march. All right. So I want you to pretend that you have some glasses of water there in your hand. And it's a hot summer day. And you're going to want to pour that glass of water on your neighbor because they look kind of like they are hot. So you have a little swing there of that arm. My feet are wider. And I'm just taking that arm all the way across my body. This might be also if you were outside and you were pulling a water hose that you were having to, it's hung up on something. You got to give it a little pull. All right, now I'm going to take my hand and I'm just going to take it a little bit across. So I've started to open up something in my closet and I have something that's going to fall and I'm going to try to stop it. So I have my palm is nice and I can feel that stretch in my hands as well. All right. Heart rate should be coming up. Now again, your hands, if you have shoulder issues, you may be a little bit lower. So Nicki, are you feeling that there in your seated position? Yeah. All right, so go and head back to that march. Again, if you're seated like Nicki, bring it into that heel dig forward. Tummy in nice and tight. So are you feeling that? Your breath should be lifting. So you should be able to talk to me the whole time. So maybe you're not going to sing the Star Spangled Banner, and if you can do that, you might need to be working just a little bit harder. Now I want you to take those feet out just a little bit wider, and we're going to go into a hamstring curl. Now again, your fingertips may be here. You may take your arms back. You may mix and match. So just really working, feeling those muscles work, and with that heart rate being up. Tummy in nice and tight. You might add a reach and pull. If you want a little bit more, you might take those arms up a little bit higher. The higher the arms, the higher the heart rate. All right, then you're gonna bring it back down into that march. Tummy in nice and tight again. I really want you to work in those elbows. You're driving them back. Like you're on a mission. So we are on a mission, aren't we? We're on a mission to get healthier. So we're going to take it, we're going to go 2 steps over to our right and back. All right, let's take it over. So 2 steps over and 2 steps back. Now I want you to take those hands and I want you to really work in those fingers, stretch them out into a little grip. So if you have any arthritis in your hands like I do, that's really going to work on those hands. Getting that heart rate up. Keep going. How about a little challenge to our brain? Are you up for it this morning? How about a little single, single, double? So single, single, in a double step. Single, single. So one thing that exercise does, it's getting that oxygen going to our brain. And then back to that double. Can we do it a couple more times? So single, single, and a double. Single, single, and a double. March it out. All right, tummy in nice and tight. So let's take those arms. Can you give me a swim? You've got a breaststroke. So maybe you're thinking of some place that you've been at some time in your life. You've got some beautiful ocean water out there. Oh, but look, I see a shark back behind us. So we got to get away, working those arms. Tummy in nice and tight. Don't let the shark get you. All right, awesome. Oh, we've made it to the beach. All right, thank heavens. Tummy in nice and tight. But we've got to climb up to our beach house. So we've got to climb some stairs. So lifting those knees, tummy in nice and tight. So these are muscles we want to work because we need to be able to go up steps. It may be just a step on a curb. Now I'm still using my hands. I'm going to add a little bit more. I have opposites going here. So are you doing opposites or are you doing the same? Keep going, tummy in nice and tight. Keep that eye gaze just straight ahead. All right, bring it back down to a march, little march. Tummy in nice and tight. Again, every time you come back here, just working those arms, tummy engaged. All right, now I want you to take those feet out a little bit wider, and we're going to add a little punch. So a little punch. So pushing forward. So if you had to go somewhere that you had a door, maybe it's a door in front of you and it's kind of hard to open. Tummy nice and tight. A little nice and easy punch. Keep going, keep going. Now we're going to add a reach across. It's a little reach. So I want you to pretend that you are, I don't know, maybe you're at the grocery store and you're just reaching things off the shelf. So I have a little rotational move just like I do in my life. Now I want you to take it and I want you to put it on the middle shelf. All right, you're just placing your item down and you're working. So see, they're standing, it all works. Tummy nice and tight. So that heart rate should still be up. March it out, little march, all right. Tummy in nice and tight. How are you feeling? So if you could tell me, can you talk to me? You should be able to talk to me. Again, you don't want to be able to sing a song. So you may have heard of the Borg Scale. So that's a little scale that tells us how hard that we work. So there's a couple of different ones. Now I want you to keep those feet going, lifting those feet up. Tummy in nice and tight. All right, bring it up. So it's up, up, and back, back. So a spirited step. So bring it up, up, making those muscles work, really pumping those arms. So the Borg Scale, there's a modified Borg Scale you may be familiar with. On a scale of 1 to 10, how hard are you working? Up, up. All right, so switch it out. So this should feel a little difficult when we work. It should challenge you. That's how you're going to get stronger. Think about all those challenges that you've had in your life. All right, things got a little harder and things got a little better. Now march it out. A little march here, tummy in nice and tight. Now we're going to could you take those hands up? You're going to give somebody 10 because you're so happy that you're exercising. Maybe it's been a while since you've exercised. Maybe you've exercised daily for all of your life. Wherever that you're at, this is going to make you feel so much better. Keep going, keep going. Tummy in nice and tight. Working side to side. You should feel those hips. All right. March it out. Tummy in nice and tight. Now let's use those arms a little bit. So this is our wax on, wax off. Oh, you're there and you're just polishing your car. All right, you're so excited. Working back and forth. Now, your arms may go a little higher or they may stay lower. So, but I'm still keeping my tummy in nice and tight as I'm working, lifting those arms up. So we need this in everyday life, right? Because we got to clean those windows. Maybe we're cleaning the front of our refrigerator. Bring that back down. So take it out. All right, let's take those arms out. Just like you are working a jump rope. So your jump rope may look like this. All right. Your feet may be a little faster. They may be a little slower. So wherever you're going to work, whatever challenges you, all right. You may have faster arms. You know, like a boxer, you know, I do those jump ropes so fast. I like this jump rope. How about you? Or maybe your feet are still and you've got a little slight bend. Should not hurt your knees. So anything we do in cells, you shouldn't have pain. All right, march it out. A little march. I like this music right here. You've got a little feel, a little Latin feel to it. Like we're in the tropics. Tummy in nice and tight. So we're gonna bring it up, all right, leading with the right leg. So take it up. All right. All right, bring it up. Now, could you give me a little speed bag with that? All right, maybe we're out. We're fishing. We're gonna reel in that line. All right. Now pick the bananas. Pick those bananas. Oh, we're out there in those tropics. Oh, those bananas are gonna taste so good. Keep going. I'm gonna reach up. There's all kinds of them. Now we let out with our right leg. Now we're gonna read with the left. I missed it there. Did you see that? All right, but it's okay. All right, now I want you to march it out. So we're gonna start back on that left leg. So know that if you don't do exactly what I do, it is all good. All right, left leg, so take it up. Take it back. Bring it up. I was just so excited about thinking about being in the tropics. How about you? All right, good job. All right, march it out. I like being in the tropics. How about you, Nicki? All right, let's take those arms. All right, so we have our noise makers, whatever they might be. All right, we have our maracas, and we're gonna shake them. We're keeping that heart rate up, and we're having fun. All kinds of music that really can help you. So maybe you look a little bit at your neighbor. All right, you're looking at them there. Are you having fun today? Sail is almost like a party, isn't it? All right, can you take them down? Take them up. Take them down. Take them up. All right, keep going. Take them down. Take them up. Down. Take them up. All right, march it out. A little march. Again, so standing nice and tall. imagine you're in those tropics. You've got your bathing suit on, so we're going to want to stand up really nice and tall. All right, somebody sees us in our bathing suit. Maybe we're going to see somebody we hadn't seen in a long time. We see that old high school sweetheart we hadn't seen in 40 or 50 years. All right, tummy in nice and tight. All right, so you're going to feel little changes of pace in our music. I'm going to let my heart rate come down just a bit. So I'm going to still keep my feet going. I'm going to keep my head above my heart. So still good posture. So seated or standing, you're going to see Nicki's in very good posture there. All right, tummy in nice and tight. How are you feeling? So as you went through this cardio portion, so on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you? If you're at a 10, then you need to slow it down. We don't want you to be 9, 10 there, but it should feel like it's worked. If you're 1 or 2, which would be like if you're sitting on the couch and you're not doing a whole lot of exercise, then we don't want to be there either because we want our exercise to count. So again, it should feel a little, somewhere there in the middle. All right, now we're going to bring it down. All right. Can you bring it down? This is kind of a little bit more to a stretch. Now we're going to go into our balance portion, and this is going to serve as our time to also let our heart rate come down because we just don't want to stop. All right, little toe tap here. Letting that heart rate come down. Again, seated or standing. Now another thing that Nicki might do is she might do a toe tap there. So she's got a heel dig, so she might do a toe tap and then a heel dig and a toe tap. So I'm keeping it pretty low. Heel dig, toe tap, heel dig. All right, one more. All right, now a little slow down. So we're going to go into this, our dynamic balance. So all that means is we're practicing our balances as we move. So that is much like when we do our fitness checks for sale. A wonderful part of that is so when we get up and we do that, we get up, we walk out 8 feet, we turn around, we do our timed up and go. That's really a dynamic balance. All right, so we're going to bring it up a little bit, and we're going to, now I could take this around the room, and we're going to work our head turn, so just side to side. So I think about going in, I'm working slowly, I've let my heart rate come down some, and I'm going to look, I'm going down the aisle at the grocery store, and you know how they switch things. You bought this product, you've been shopping there for a very long time, but I'm doing this as I walk. Okay, so as I go. All right, so you can work if it's a very dizzy day. You may bring it to the side and then bring it forward, okay, and stop and then look to the other side. Maybe you're in a hotel. We're still in the tropics and we're looking for our hotel room. So we're going to do that there just a few times. We could also be walking around the room, maybe greeting. We're looking over and saying, Nicki, did you hear we're going to have a sale luncheon here next week, so you need to be there. That's how we do that in real life. Okay, so now we're going to go in. That was our first, walking slowly with head turn. So now we're going to go where we're going to be walking and stepping over obstacles. Now, many of us have probably had children, and so you think about having a lot of toys in the floor. I think about that. You can stay right by that chair and have your fingertips on the chair. So I'm going to work forward and backward. Also think about if I am having to step over one of those curbs that's out in the parking lots that you sometimes have to step over. And then I'm also going to work laterally. So you want to make sure you go forward and backward. So we do this often in life. So we're getting in and out of a tub. It may not be just a regular tub. It might be just a step up and over into a shower. So you're just working there, or it may be that you are at the movies and you're going to step over that somebody, you got to sit in the middle and you got to step over their big thing, popcorn. All right, so just go back in. So that's our up and over. So we've worked that in all different planes of action. And you could take that around the room depending on your space that you're at. Because we work that all around in all different turns. So now we're going to work on our heel to toe walk. So we're going to bring it in. Now, our goal is see if we can bring that totally heel and toe. But that may be a little challenging. So I'm going to give you some options for this. Okay, so maybe you can't, your fingertips can be right there on the chair. Okay, you're going to keep your eye gaze up. So I'm not going to look down there at the floor to see if my feet, all right, I'm going to keep that eye gaze up. I could take my arms out wide. Okay, another alternative is I'm not totally heel and toe, but I'm just on something more narrow that I have to walk on. Maybe you've got a little path in the grass. It's just a little tiny trail that you're having to walk. So that may be another option there to work. So we're going to do that just a little bit. Try that back one more time. So we're going to work that forwards and backing and moving. Okay, so a little, kind of shake those feet out there a little bit. So that is our heel-toe walk. So we're going to work it forwards and backwards. Okay, so our next one is we're going to practice turning it in a little circle. So we really do this again in our timed up and go. We go up, we turn in a little circle and come back. So we're going to work our circle and we're going to do it on the spot. So you've got a little just to turn around. So can you think about, I think about doing this when I have my glasses and I've laid them down somewhere and I'm trying to find them. And it's always, where did I put my glasses at? I know they're somewhere around here. I can keep my fingertips on the chair if I need to. An alternative, if it's a day that you're a little more dizzy, all right, is to keep that hand there. My fingertips never have to leave the chair. So we're just going to do that one more time here, go around. So I'm on the spot and I'm just working that. So I want to stay very safe in doing that. All right, so we've done all of our dynamic except one thing, and that's to do our sit to stands. So I'm going to come here to my chair. Now I'm going to grab me a quick sip of water here. And I'm going to bring my water bottle, keep it right underneath my chair. Now I'm going to sit here and I'm going to watch my clock here. We're going to do this for 30 seconds. So wherever you are, you know, this is one of our, again, another one of our fitness tests. So our goal is to get to where we are standing and we are working without using our hands to get up. So we'll have all that lower body strength, which is so critical to our balance. So bringing those arms across, you're going to sit nice and tall, your feet are planted. Now Nicki is going to be showing you some different options. Either a push-off, maybe that's where you are today, that's where you're going to work at. And so be watching her for some alternatives there. So, all right, are you ready? So on your mark, get set, and go. Just lift up. 30 seconds of this. So strong in those legs. I'm going to press up, keeping those arms up. All right, just like we do in our fitness testing, which is a wonderful thing. This is a critical exercise that we've got to get. All right, we're going, I promise I'm looking here at my watch. So sometimes it feels like 30 seconds feels like it's a really long time, isn't it? Some of you may go faster, some of you may go slower. All that you're competing with is yourself. All right, and then we are done with that. Now we're going to come back up to standing, all right? Or you may stay seated as Nicki is showing you. And we're going to transition into our static balances, which means we're just standing still. So the first one we're going to do is our clock sway. So you want to try to bring those feet right together if you can. Now some of you that may be you may have some orthopedic issues that makes that more difficult. Or maybe if this is the very first time, you keep your feet apart. But I'm going to bring mine together. Another alternative is to come right back behind your chair. So if you feel a little unsteady, where you can bring both of your feet on the chair. So I'm going to work, I'm going to come to the side so you can see me a little bit better. So I'm going to work here, my knees are soft, and my little sway, I'm going to come forward just like, I'm looking all the beautiful flowers that are out there. I have a nice long spine, my knees are soft, and I have that little hip hinge. All right, and then I'm going to bring it up nice and slow, and then I'm going to just go over to the side. And that may be, I've reached over to, you can think about reaching over into, that I'm going to grab something off a table, and then I'm going to bring it up, and I'm going to take it back. So we're going to work those back body muscles, and I have a little lift to my chest, like I'm going to look up, I'm looking up at a squirrel in the tree, and I'm going to look back. So those back body muscles, we're going to work on those, make them nice and strong. Again, these are not locked out. I'm going to bring it straight up, and then I'm going to take it to the other side. All right, this time we're going to take it around the opposite way and go just a little bit faster. So you're going to bring it forward. Oh, I'm looking here at the flowers. Then I'm going to bring it up, and then I'm going to tip to the side. Oh, I hear something over there. I'm going to bring it back up. I'm going to look back up to that squirrel in the tree. He's running back up there. Bring it back up in a little tip to the side, and then bring it back up. That is your clock sway. All right, so now we're going to look here and do head and trunk turns. So important if you drive or just in life. So we're going to work here, And I'm going to have you bring your fingertips up here to your shoulders. So you can feel your shoulders. They're straight ahead. You're looking straight ahead. So now I'm just going to turn and I'm going to look over to the right. So I'm going to turn my head there and bring it back to the center, and then back to the other side, just like you're on a sidewalk with a lot of people. Now what I want you to pay attention, did your shoulders move with you, or could you keep it forward? Your neck may be kind of tight, and it may be hard for you to do this. All right, if you're driving, that's very critical. All right, so that is our neck turn. All right, now let's see how we can do. Now I'm going to bring my hands to my hips this time. Okay, and you can step those feet. The feet do not have to stay narrow there, so hip distance. Okay, and I'm just going to do a little look over to the side. All right, somebody's called my name, and I'm going to look and see who was that hollering at me. Bring it back forward, and then I'm going to go back in the other direction. So I can kind of see my whole torso is turning. Bring it right back in. So that is your head and trunk turns. So our next one is a heel-toe stand. So it's much like our walk, only we're going to just practice just standing. Okay? So you're going to, okay to put your hand on your chair and position your feet. Maybe you have to look down and see. So our goal is to come here. So see, you're standing where we're going to work on this. Bringing one foot up. All right. So this is our goal, is to try to be on that balance beam. We're standing nice and tall, totally heel and toe. But maybe that's not where you're at today. So our goal is this. So maybe you need to put some separation in between your feet. You're not totally on, as I like to say, if you're on a 2x2 piece of plywood, 2 inch by 2 inch. So maybe it's a day that we got to be on the 2x6. All right, it's a little wider. Okay. Maybe we need a little distance between our feet. All right, so we're bringing it here, or maybe you need even a little bit more. Maybe it's just a very difficult day. Okay. And so we're just working, and we're just going to hold this for 30 seconds. We'll try that. Okay. And how are you doing in there? So I want you to kind of notice where you're at. Tummy's in nice and tight. Is your weight right in the center? All right. Now bring that foot back. Now let's see what we do with the other leg forward. It can be totally different from side to side. So on this side, I'm going to try to really get heel and toe. Now I've got my hand out here to the chair. I can bring my arms out wide if I need to. So a little bit, oh, you saw me do that little sway there. All right, where's my weight at? Is my tummy in nice and tight? I find the spot for my eyes to focus on. And Nicki's trying the same thing over there. All right. So we're gonna bring it right back down here. Okay, so that was our heel-toe stance. So now we're gonna work on some reaches, and we're gonna work this in all different. Think about the things you reach for in life. So let's reach for that little string to turn your fan on. All right, so I'm gonna try it with that hand. Let's see what it's like with the other hand. So I'm gonna reach out here. Okay, I'm gonna bring it down. Now I'm gonna reach over here to something on a countertop. I'm gonna get it and bring it back in. You know, that thing I'm looking for, but could my eye gaze go to that hand as I'm reaching? I'm going to bring it right back in. I might reach up. I'm going to put something in a closet. Okay, maybe I'm getting it out of the closet, and I'm going to bring it and I'm going to place it down. So it reaches in many different directions. So that is your reaches. So you want to work forward, you want to work in sideways, all those things you do in real life. Okay, so our final one in our balance is to do a single leg stance or single leg balance. So you may choose to be with both hands on the chair if you feel unsteady. I'm going to do mine from the side. I'm going to start with my right leg. My knee is soft, and I'm just going to lift that foot up, tummy in nice and tight. Because my core is tight. Kind of notice, what are your hips doing? Could you hold your pelvis level? All right, and we're just going to hold that. Can you hold that for, let's see if we can hold that for 30 seconds. So tummy in nice and tight. Now, if you get tired or it's really hard, maybe you tap that toe down. That will be okay. Maybe your toes forward. All right, keeping your eye on that eye gaze. Arms may be out wide, will be another option. That standing knee is soft. Then let's try it on the other side and see how it works. It may be totally different on the other side. So switching your weight into your left leg. Okay, I'm going to come into, I'm going to take my fingertips off. Now, if my fingertips, if I have both hands on the chair, I may be really holding on like a death grip. Or maybe I think, oh, I think I can play the piano. Maybe I could come to one finger. Maybe I could bring it out to my arms out. So tummy in nice and tight. So kind of notice what your hips are doing. Oh, you may feel that leg. Oh, I can feel my leg muscles are really working. And then bring it right down. So, and you saw Nicki was practicing it there as well, just seated. All right, so we're gonna move into our strength portion. I'm gonna come to a seated position to grab my weights. We're gonna start with your upper body first. So just stepping that leg out as you grab the weights. You want to make sure that you're not hurting your back there. Now we're going to use two different tools to do. Nicki is going to use the weights, the wrap weights. So she'll be doing those. And then I'm going to use some dumbbells. Sometimes you may have some dumbbells available to use. And I'm going to invite you to come standing with me, because we have to handle weight when we're standing. Nicki will be showing you a version that is seated. So we're going to stand again or sit in really good posture. And it might take a minute to get those weights on. You got them on there and they're secure, Nicki? All right, good. That's very good. All right, are you ready to work your muscles? So we're going to start in a bicep curl. All right, so think of how many things you carry. So I'm standing nice and tall, my knees are soft. I'm going to extend my palms forward. I'm going to keep my elbows in, and I'm just going to curl up. Now, Nicki, I'm going to give you some work to do. All right, you're going to have to be my counter today, all right? So we won't do too many on one arm or vice versa, whatever. So, all right, we're going to bring it up to the count, to a cadence. We have this, so we're going to bring it up for 3, 2, 1, a little hold, and then you're going to bring it down. So we're controlling our weight, and that is 1. Okay, so we're going to work in here. We're just going to keep going, keeping those elbows in. Are you keeping your wrist straight in that little pause? All right, how many we got, Nicki?
2.
All right, so bring it up. This is a way you can count out loud. Hey, you know, if you're counting out loud, then I know that you can talk to me. All right, how many is that, Nicki?
That's 3.
All right, so we're bringing it up nice and slow. A little hold there, and then bring it right back down. Good. So we're going to work these just nice and slow and controlled. All right, we're going to go to 8 on this. So bring it up. Where are we at, Nicki?
6.
All right. I love when people help me to count. All right, so go ahead and bring it up. Oh, this is number 7. Very good, bringing it down. So we're bringing it up. And this is number 8. We're going to bring it up, that little pause, and then bring it right back down. You're going to bring the weights. Do you feel those bicep curls? We're going to work here in our tricep extensions. So my knees are soft. I'm going to take my hips back. I'm going to bring my hands to my hips. Nicki's going to do that. See, she's got just a little slight lean forward. All right, so what I'm going to do, your shoulders may have come up. Try to pull those shoulders down. And I'm going to extend my forearms back. So I'm keeping those elbows up. So again, we're going to work that 3, 2, 1, and then that little pause, and then bring it back down, slow and controlled. So I think this is number 3, and then bring it down. So if you find yourself wanting to go too fast, another thing you may do is you may do 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, hold, and then 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000. If you feel those shoulders come up, pull them back down. So let's keep going right there, working a little pause and bring them back down, slow and controlled. Where are we at, Nicki?
6.
All right, 6, 2 more to go. Join us. All right. Another alternative would be to do one arm at a time. All right. I think this is number 8. Little pause there, and then bring it right back down. All right, coming to a nice seated or standing nice and tall. So we're going to work our arm raise to the side. So again, standing nice and tall. Our tummy is nice and tight. So we're going to take those arms out to the side. So watch me first what we're going to do. So I'm going to bring it out to the side. All right, and then lower it right back down. Keep my wrists nice and straight. All right, I'm not going to go above my shoulders. I'm going to go about shoulder height. All right, now, Nicki, will you show us an alternative of maybe doing one at a time? You could do one arm at a time, seated or standing. All right, I'm giving her lots of jobs. She's having to count and show all the different modifications. So again, we're bringing it up for 3, a little pause, and then we're lowering it down. All right, I think that might have been number 4. Are you all helping us count at home? I hope so. Us instructors always need counters to help us. So you might be training your brain in this as well. Do you know some foreign language, or maybe you're wanting to learn one? So you can learn to count in different languages. All right, bring it up. Should not be causing any pain in those shoulders. Where are we at, Nicki?
8.
Oh, fantastic, number 8. All right, so we work those shoulders out to the side. That is a side, an arm raise to the side, or a lateral raise. You may hear that call to that. Now we're going to take those arms. This move is called shoulder flexion, or a front raise. So you're going to see where your shoulders feel happy. So I'm going to stop here. I'm going to lift up again, and I'm going to work here. I'm going to stop here at shoulder height, and I'm going to bring it back down. Now that might be that As you get stronger, you may be able to bring them up slightly higher, but I'm going to stop right here, and still I'm working very nice and slow. Now, again, there should be no pain. So, you know, a little modification for your shoulders is that maybe you come out just slightly wider. Maybe that makes your shoulders happy, because this is an important move, because we lift things up, don't we, in life. We're picking our garbage up. I always think of this, we lift babies up. That baby gets stinky, his diaper is stinky, and we're like, I don't want you too close to me. So I'm still controlling, 3, 2, up that little hold, and then back down. Where are we at, Nikki?
I think we have one more.
Ah, one more. Were you counting at home? You got to help us there. All right, so that is your shoulder flexion. Okay, so our last one is our overhead press in our upper body. So you're going to bring your arms up like goalposts. Now my arms are a little bit forward of my shoulders. I'm standing really nice and tall, and I'm going to work those arms up. So Nicki will be showing an option of maybe doing one at a time, or another option would be to work just range of motion. So we're going to bring it up. This is a tough one. So think about all those things. So again, I'm going to control it as I'm going up and down. All right. So that 3, 2, 1, a little pause, and then bring it right back down. So tummy in nice and tight. Now I'm going to stop. I'm not going to let my arms come all the way down. I'm going to stay right there at that goalpost. All right, working up. I hope Nicki's counting, don't you? All right, where are we at?
6.
This is number 6. Bring it right back down. Excellent. So bringing it up, working. Are you feeling this? Was that number 8?
One more.
Oh, one more. I thought we were done. And then bring it right back down. All right, and then bring it right down. Maybe a little shoulder roll right there. Now we're going to work in that lower body. So I'm going to come down, come to a seated position to put my ankle weights on, because that is really, this is a wonderful thing about sail, is having ankle, because that's how you're going to build that leg strength. All right, so I'm going to take my weights. Again, I'm going to set my dumbbells down very carefully, being easy on my back, take my leg out to the side. I'm going to set them down there, and then I'm going to grab those weights. All right, so you want to make sure they're very secure on there. Now, as you go through sail class, now if this is your first one, you may be getting a little tired, so if you needed to do these seated, you could certainly do that. You can mix and match. You may do a portion of it standing, and then a portion of it, whoops, threw my weight out there. All right, so again, you want to make sure if you have weights like this, your strap is going to go there into the front. You want to make sure they're not going to come off. Now, if you've got those ankle weights on, you want to be careful as you're coming up and standing and walking with that. So you're going to come back around. I'm going to work from the back of my chair so my fingertips can go. Again, Nicki is going to be showing you that seated version. So our first one is to work knee flexion. So you may have heard that at some time as a, you know what, I forgot something, my seated crunches. Oh my goodness, I'm going to come back to the seated position, and let's grab those. So coming back down. All right, that's why I need all that good oxygen to my brain to work out, so I can work and not forget things. All right, so standing or sitting nice and tall. And you're going to have to do this one seated. Go ahead and cross those arms. If you still had your weights, you could certainly do that. I have my ankle weights on, and that's okay. So we're going to work here. Pull those tummy muscles, really those deep ones that, and you're not going to hold your breath. All right, so we're going to take it back. We're going to lean back. Our back is away from the chair. Bring it right back up. So again, we're going to work these nice and slow and bring it right back up. All right. See, I almost let you forget one. Oh my goodness. All right. We can't forget our core. Nice and tight as you bring it back. Feet stay on the floor as we're working again. We're working really nice and slow. So I think about this move, needing this, is when I am holding maybe a grandbaby, or you're holding something. All right, maybe it's a piece of really special coconut cake and you're holding it and you don't want to drop it. All right, so I need those core muscles to work where I can't use my hands. Where are we at, Nicki?
This is the last one.
All right, here's our last one. So that is our seated crunch. All right, now let's go in and work on that lower body. So we're going to bring it up and come around the chair again, working very carefully to get around as we're walking with ankle weights on. All right, so Nicki, you got your weights on there? So we're going to go on. So our first one is our knee flexion. So knee flexion, or you may have heard that about the knee, and it means that knee is bending Okay, so all that is, you may have heard it called a hamstring curl. So I'm going to work on one leg. Nicki's going to show that. She's going to extend her leg out and then bring it and then slide it back. Okay, so let's work on, I'm going to go on my right leg first. All right, so I'm just going to curl up and bring it back down. Now I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what my leg is doing. So a little lift up, I've got that little pause, and I'm slowly lowering it down. So I'm doing it all in control as I work and move. All right, so tummy in nice and tight, I'm standing nice and tall. All right, so we're going to work there, little squeeze there at the top. Where are we at, Nicki? All right, love having my counters. Good, and then we're going to do that. And here's our 8, and then bringing it right back down. Now I'm just going to go on ahead and shift into that other leg. So let's bring it up, and then bring it right back down. And lift it up, and then back down. A little lift up. So again, knee flexion. So remember that by those words. Okay, so you'll remember there. So again, I'm up slow, a little pause there, and then bring it right back down. Where are we at now, Nicki?
7.
All right, number 7, one more here. Number 8, and then bring it right down. All right, so that was the bend. That was our knee flexion. So now we're going to do our knee extension. Some of these, if you've ever had therapy on a knee or hip, you may have done this like this. Now, if you're a little more unsteady, you might come and do the seated version for this one. All right, so I'm going to stay standing here. I'm going to lift my leg up. All right, so I'm going to extend the leg so it's going to come out. Now, if you're really weak, you may bring it all the way down, okay? So I'm going to challenge and see if I can leave my leg up. All right, I have a little more challenge, working a little bit harder there. So I'm slow, I'm not kicking that leg out. It's very slow and controlled. I like to put my hand right there so I can feel those muscles work. Again, you might have both hands on the chair for support because it's about working these muscles. Where are we at, Nicki?
7. Last one, 8.
Oh, all right, and then bring it right back down. Good, shake those hips out a little bit if you need to. Then we're gonna go right into the other side. So I'm standing nice and tall, that standing knee is not locked out. Bring it up. Oh, let's see if I can do the same thing on the other side. All right, so I'm keeping really working. I feel that my hips working there. In addition, helping me to stay upright, nice and strong. Again, I can put my hand there on that muscle and I can feel those quadriceps. Oh, we need them to be strong. So extend it out and bring it back in. So I'm not throwing that leg. One more, so I'm still slow up. Little pause, bring it down and set it down. So that was knee extension. All right, so you had knee flexion and knee extension. Now we're going to work on let's work from the hip. All right, so we're going to work hip flexion. So that means that hip is bending right here at the hip. So we moved up. So I'm going to extend, and again, Nicki is going to show another version here, seated. So I'm going to work, and I'm going to lift that leg up. So I'm doing my left leg first this time. So again, I'm slow and controlled. I'm not throwing that leg up and bringing it right back down. So tummy in nice and tight. Oh, now this time I'm using my fingers to help me count. All right, so I'm lift up. So I have a little bend, that knee is not locked up. All right, so I'm lifting it up. Okay, maybe I lost count with my fingers. Where are we at, Nicki?
The last one.
All right, and bring it down. Shake those hips out a little bit. Let's do it on the other side. So tummy in nice and tight. So you may think too that, you bring that leg up and that hip to climb stairs or to climb up on a sidewalk. So again, I'm still slow and controlled. Bring it up and then bring it right back down. All right, and lift it up. Man, and that hip. I'm really working. This hip over here is working to help hold me up. All right, slow up and bring it down. The tendency may be to bring it up and then let gravity grab it back down, but don't do that. All right, one more.
Last one.
All right, and then we're gonna bring it right back down. Good, all right. So our next one is we're going to work, that was hip flexion. So now we're gonna work hip extension. So this was the bend in the hip. All right, now we're gonna take it backwards. We're gonna extend that leg, working in the hip. So again, I'm gonna do my left leg first. Now Nicki, the version that she's showing, you won't be able to see this as much, but she's gonna work in her glutes, right, in her bottom there, and she's gonna squeeze and release in her tush. Okay, so one thing is there, if we're working these weights, we don't wanna hold our breath. So we want to inhale, and we're gonna exhale on the hardest part of it. We're not gonna hold our breath. So I'm gonna work to take my leg back, All right, and I'm going to actually here, I'm going to take one from the side so you can see. All right, so again, I'm taking it back slow. Shouldn't hurt your back here. I'm not trying to kick my neighbor back behind me. I'm not going to let gravity bring it back down. All right, and this is what's so special about having those ankle weights on. When you're doing this move with the ankle weights on, boy, it's going to feel, it should feel hard. All right, it should feel difficult. And then when you pull them off, oh man, you're going to feel so much, you're going to feel a lot stronger. All right, have a little squeeze. I'm working in those glutes back there. All right, last one, and then we're just going to turn. I'm going to do the other side. This again should not hurt your back. So if you feel it in your back, you might hold on and might have a slight hinge forward. All right, let's get that other leg. So lift up, again, not letting gravity bring you down. A little squeeze there. Can you feel those muscles work? All right, it's okay to put your hand back there and see, like you got your hand in your pocket. Because a lot of people are really weak in our gluteal muscles. Okay, that's a very common thing. All right. It's almost like you're roller skating or you're on a skateboard. We can be on one in our imagination. I don't think I want to be on one for real. All right, very good. All right, now we're going to do side leg raises. So I'm going to I'll stay right here on the side. You need to make sure that your foot has room to move. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that my toes, and you may have to look at your toes. Your brain may be telling you one thing and your foot's doing something entirely different. Standing knee is soft. I'm going to do my left leg first here, and I'm going to bring it up. Now I'm going to keep my toes forward, and it's not about how high you can get your leg. All right, and I'm trying to stay really, I'm trying not to lean into it. I'm standing nice and tall. Oh man, I can feel my core muscles work there. Again, I'm not throwing that leg out, still slow and controlled. I have that little pause right there, that little special moment, and bring it right in. Is this challenging you at home? So make sure those toes come forward. All right, now we're going to do the other side. I'm just going to switch my chair just slightly here so you can see that. All right, now I don't like that weight sitting there, so I'm going to move my chair right back. So going ahead, I'm going to do the other side. Is it different one side than the other? It may be, oh man, this side is really, really hard. I'm keeping the toes forward, okay? You may need to bring that leg all the way down to redistribute the weight. Standing knee is soft, bringing it out. So I'm trying to work really hard, standing nice and tall. Good job, good job. All right, good. Guess what? We only have one more. All right, so I'm gonna move my chair back over here. So I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me here a little bit. So we have a toe stand, okay? Or plantar flexion. So the way I like to remember this, I'm planting my toes in the sand, okay? So I'm going to lift up on my toes. So again, I'm going to bring it up, a little pause, and I'm going to be slow to bring it down. So that tendency may be to bring it up and then plunk down. So see if you can not plunk down. So same exercise seated. Now if you have a lot of arthritis in your toes, then you may need to come and do it seated. Okay, again, so everything we do shouldn't be causing pain. So really, this feels really good to me to work. You need those calves to be nice and strong because we have a lot of places we want to walk, right? We have graduations to go to, we have weddings to go to. We may want to go to with our family somewhere special. All right, very good. So we've completed all of our strength exercises. Hooray, we're on the home stretch now. So you're going to come back to seated. I'm going to watch this weight, always being mindful of safety. I'm going to bring it down. So I'm going to take my weights off. We're not going to stretch with our weights on. And in fact, our weights, the only time that we use our weights is when we do our strength portion. We don't have them on when we're doing our aerobic section or our warm-up, cool down, any of our balance. We don't work them in sail. So you're going to just use those during your strength portion. It probably feels good to get those weights off. All right, here to the good part. So we're going to go through and work our flexibility, so very critical. Now, are you sitting there in your chair? You should sit really nice and tall again, but you're still kind of relaxed there. Take some good deep breaths. Always want to work there with your breath. Okay, get a sip of water if you need to. Now we're going to work here in our neck. So I want you just to look over to your right, just a little turn. All right, and we're just going to hold it there. This is kind of like we did in our earlier portions. We worked our balance. Okay, then I'm gonna bring back forward. So you wanna try to hold your stretches. Could you hold them maybe 20 seconds? All right, then you're gonna look in the other direction, towards your left. Good deep breaths. All right, then you're gonna bring your head forward again. A little tip of your chin down, like you're gonna look at something on your lap. I'm not rounding forward, just a little look down. A little hold right there. So again, just wanna try and hold it. Good deep breaths. Oh, you have worked so hard today. I am so proud of you. And then can you take a little look up? We're gonna hold it like you're looking up at the sky. Maybe you're looking at, you heard a helicopter going over and you wanted to go look up at it. Should not cause any pain there in your neck. Bring your head forward, so that is you're working there with your neck. So then that flexion of the bend, extending out. All right, so our next one, we're gonna work there in some shoulder circles. So you may start right here in just a little shoulder circle, just a little movement back. And then I'm gonna make that circle a little bit bigger, and I'm gonna work one arm at a time. Maybe you have some shoulder issues and you're gonna work a little bit smaller. Maybe your shoulders say, oh, I'm happy, this is where I'm happy at. Or maybe you have your shoulders may say, oh, you know, we've worked hard, I can stretch a little bit further working in those. Now I'm working backwards, because most of us live really forward, so we need that backward motion, don't we? Help bring us up. All right, now I'm gonna bring it up, just sitting really nice and tall. And I'm actually gonna come back up to standing. I love this stretch standing. So Nicki's gonna show this, our version seated. So I'm going to just bring my hand up and I'm gonna pat myself on the back. You should do that because you've been working really hard. So I'm gonna come here, I'm gonna keep my eye gaze forward, a little tuck in my chin. And can I bring my hand up here like this? If you have shoulder issues, this may be as far as it can go. All right, and you stop there again, no pain. But can you bring it up just like you're gonna grab a zipper in behind? Or for me, I love to camp. So it's always those mosquitoes that like to get me there. They like to bite me on the back. So I'm standing nice and tall, taking some really good breaths. Oh, isn't this a nice stretch, Nicki? Oh, it feels good. All right, then I'm gonna release that arm down, and I'm gonna maybe give me a little roll in that shoulder. Let's try the other side and see how it feels on this side. So a little tuck in my chin, I'm gonna bring that hand up. I need more than one pat on my back for coming today, right? So you may stop here. Could you lift that elbow up any amount? I'm not pulling on the arm any, I'm just letting it come up, keeping that eye gaze up. Oh, I can feel that stretch actually, not only my tricep, but all down underneath my arm. All right, and then releasing that down. All right, again, maybe a little roll in that shoulders. All right, and we're gonna take those hands and I want you to clasp them forward. So we've done our neck stretches. Working our way down. So this is our forward clasp. I like to drop my chin. Maybe you stand up with maybe you work with your head forward. All right, and then I'm gonna go back into some scapular retraction. So just a little flow. Here I'm gonna bring those arms out. So scapular retraction. So I'm opening in that chest, pulling those shoulder blades together. I'm gonna keep my little tuck in my chin. I'm gonna look straight ahead. Now could you, I invite you to bring those fingertips up. I don't want your head to come forward. So maybe your body says, I can't, this is where we stop at. But I open, maybe those fingertips will connect, still no pressure on your neck. Just like you're laying in the grass. Oh, you're just enjoying that out there looking up at the stars. All right, and then we're just gonna release it down, maybe a little shoulder roll there. Now we're gonna work in and take those hands, a little shoulder roll back. Could those hands, I'm gonna clasp both of them. I could do one at a time. And I've got a little clasp back, a little chest opening there. Nicki's showing another version. You're back there. If you couldn't get that, your hands could be on your chair, perhaps. All right, opening that chest, pulling the shoulders down, get deep breath. So this is our clasp behind. We've clasped in forward and we've clasped behind. Worked our scapular retraction. All right, good. Now let's work in those hands a little bit. So we've got a little prayer position. So a little wrist stretch here. So try to relax your shoulders again. We're just holding that. This is what I say, oh, I'm so thankful. I've been praying I could get through this class today. And you did. You're on the home stretch now. Good deep breaths. Ah, don't you feel a lot better because you've come here and exercised today? All right. All right, now we're going to take those hands, and we've got a little fist, and we're going to fling those fingers out like you've got water on your hands, and you're going to splash them on somebody. Or maybe you're throwing them some blessings. I like to throw blessings at people. Blessings of good health. Little fist and fling. All right, now we're going to move down into that lower body. Again, I'm going to show you this standing, and I'm going to turn just slightly. We're going to do our quadriceps first. Now, Nicki is going to turn on the side of her chair, and she's going to drop that knee, kind of a 90-90. And so, in coming in this way, she can hold back there. If she feels a little unsteady, she's got the back of that chair to hold on to. All right, and I'm going to do it standing, and all I'm going to do is just bring that leg up so I could have both hands on my chair. We're going to, again, try to hold those stretches, at least 20 seconds in there, if you can. Oh gosh, it feels so good. All right, I'm going to lower it down. Let's just go right to that other side. So if you're seated, it'll take just a second to get in position. All right, so again, good posture, standing knee is soft. So really have those good deep breaths. And again, Nicki is very secure on her chair. And this is your quadricep stretch, both standing and seated. So I'm not going to try to grab my foot. I'm just going to hold it right here. I can feel a great stretch there, lowering it down. We're going to go back in, and then we're going to get on the back of that leg, quadriceps in the front of our leg. We're going to work our hamstrings, the back of that leg. We're going to bring one foot up. So I'm going to stand on the side, standing knee is soft. I'm going to bring one foot up. I'm going to pull my toes up. Okay, now you may be right here and you may feel that stretch just perfectly fine. And you're just right here. But I'm going to give just a little hinge of my hips back, my standing knee, a little bend in it. Feel that all the way down the length of that muscle and really stretch that out because we've worked those muscles hard today, haven't we? All right, Nicki has your seated version. All right, so notice that we're not pressing on this knee. We're not locking that knee up, then bring it right back up. All right, so go to the other side so you can bring it up. So Nicki, what I'm going to have you do this time, all right, sitting really nice and tall, is I'm going to have you extend the leg that you're stretching. You're going to extend that arm straight out, and just like you're going to shake your neighbor's hand, and you're going to come forward. So I'm not reaching towards the foot. I have a little bend there. Again, you may feel it just fine here. I put a little hinge in my hip. All right, a little bend in this knee. All right, think really nice long spine, pulling that toe up. Again, I could have both hands on my chair. I'm going to bring it right back up. Hamstring stretch. So our next one is an inner thigh stretch. Okay, so I'm going to do my left leg first. So I'm going to come right back. Both hands can be on the chair. I'm going to take my legs out a little bit further. I'm going to hinge my hips back just a tiny bit. And I'm just going to slide to one side. I'm still keeping my knees safe. So your stretch should be felt in this leg that's extended. My knees are still soft, should not hurt your knees. You'll see that Nicki is working there. She's keeping her knee and her foot, they're going in the same direction, pressing that thigh out. Now that knee may want to try to cave in a bit. So you want to try to prevent it from caving in. Can you do that? But again, no pain in what you're doing. All right, then I'm going to bring it right back up, and I'm going to do the other side. Move my chair slightly down here. So I'm going to step out a little distance between my feet. Again, you could have your chair right in front of you, a little hinge of your hips. You're going to slide to one side. You should feel that in that inner thigh. Totally supported. My hips are back, so I'm keeping this knee safe. All right, if I had my hips pushed forward, my knee would probably not be happy. It'd be screaming at me. So just nice, good deep breaths. Can you feel that in that inner thigh? Great stretch. Most of us are really tight there. All right, we're going to bring it up, step it in. I'm going to step back over to the other side of my chair. We're going to work in our calves now. So seated or standing is very similar. So we're going to bring that foot forward. Okay, I'm going to lift my toe up. I'm really going to work to pull my toe up. Okay, dorsiflexion. So this is your calf, your standing calf stretch. There's different ways to stretch your calves, but in sail, this is how we choose to do this in sail. And you see Nicki sitting really nice and tall. She's not putting any pressure on that knee. That extended leg, it's not locked out. And then let's get that on the other side. So you're going to extend it out. Let's pull it up. Nice, good deep breaths. Again, trying to hold those stretches. Pulling the toe up. Is it different on one side than the other? You might look at that foot to see if it's different. Bring it right down. Okay. And we have completed all of our exercises. So our one last thing, you may grab your water bottle there to get a drink. I'm going to grab a little, part of SAIL is always education. So, and I want to leave this with you as our education. Now this is, as I mentioned, referred to, this is it's an information guide for adults 65 and plus. So we want to stay strong. We want to finish strong, don't we? So I like this one, is to start exercising and to stay with it. So if this is your first class of SAIL, then keep coming. It may take you a couple of times to figure out what we're doing in the exercises, and then you're just going to reap so many benefits. So think of exercise and physical activity as fun and healthy. Make both daily physical exercise a routine habit, just like your meals and medication. It's the best health insurance. I love that, don't you? It is health insurance for keeping yourself healthy, active, and independent. We all want to be independent and be able to take care of ourselves. So there's an exercise plan that you'll be doing, so use that form that's in this guide and to help you to create a plan that's just right for you. So thank you so much for being here with us today for SAIL. I hope that you've had a great class today, that you feel better, you feel strong. Just bless you as you go in through your day. May all of your steps be steady and secure, and you have a fantastic day. So thank you for being with us.